Alright, welcome back to more Paper Mario. We got 11 punies in our party. And yeah, we're just further exploring this giant-ass tree. I will say, if you ever lose some punies, for whatever reason, you can go back to the beginning area and talk to the Elder Puny, and she'll call all of them back, no matter where they are. It's helpful, but, you know, it's just something to keep in mind. Here's another attack that I don't know, battle that I don't know why I kept in, but fuck it. My mindset's probably that we didn't see the Piters before, but we did. But oh well, it's not that big of a deal in the long run.
Nah. Okay, what is it? I've been asking like a lot of my friends this question, like what are your top 5 favorite games, video games like all time?
Number one, no matter what, is Persona 3. I mean the original.
Not even. Oh, you never played Reload yet.
Yeah, I still haven't, but I'm getting the feeling I'm not going to like it.
Okay, so we're talking about Persona 3. Like, is this with the controllable party members with? Or does he still like? Do you not?
No, this is just without. I'm saying without mods, no matter what, because I think that's the only way to like properly judge. I'm not saying mods are bad or anything. It's just, if you're gonna judge something, I think it should be without mods. Like, I may not like not being able to control your party members, but if original 3 or FES, I can still play no matter what. My go-to will be portable because of controllable party members, but I still love the story. 2. That is a great question. I think it would be a Thousand Year Door. Because this is still a fun game to play, and it's one of the few games I've played, like,
multiple times.
A lot of freaking times, yeah.
Yeah, that's why like, when I feel like when you're talking about your favorite games of all time, you played it, multiple times. And you can still have fun with it no matter how many times you played it.
3 would have to be the original Resident Evil 4.
Okay, Wii or GameCube? Or
it wouldn't matter, only because if I'm playing on Wii, I'm not using the Wii remote.
Okay.
And before people say a thing, it feels weird. That's why, like, whenever we do get to Resident Evil 4 on here, I'm doing that off of the PC, and if I didn't have my thing against keyboard and mouse with my arm feeling dead for some reason, I still wouldn't do keyboard and mouse, because I would still feel like I was playing a third-person shooter. But real quick, Jabis. These are some enemies. You don't actually go in a battle phase, but you want to use Madame Flurry for this, or else you will lose both encounters. But to get back to what I was saying, and this is more because just traveling on the field, I feel like if I turn the camera left, I'll be turning where Leon is going. And in the case of Wii, when I'm aiming, I feel like having the cursor go to side, I would imagine that will also turn the camera, but no, you still have to turn the camera yourself. As weird as that may seem. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, that's definitely my third favorite. Let me think, fourth would probably be Tony Hawk Underground 2.
You know what's funny? I kind of thought it was going to be a little bit higher, actually, because I know you mentioned that being definitely in your favorite games of all time.
Well, it's just a fun skateboarding game. Like the story mode may be very, very shallow, but it has a lot of fun moments. Like after you are done with the initial portion for the New Orleans chapter, there's a cutscene where Bam is being like is holding on to two drunken people as they're just pulling him on a skateboard. And plus, I just think it refines a lot from the first couple of Pro Skater games. They'll play it on GameCube if anyone plays it, because, oh boy, the controls did not feel good on the PS2 version.
Oh yeah, whenever especially when I downloaded the emulator, my PS2 emulator.
Well, dude, it was still so fucking weird that I had to hit both L1 and R1 just to get off the skateboard.
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. I'll put Underground 2 as number 5, because number 4 will be Xenoblade 2.
No, you have talked a lot. I mean, a lot about 2. Is there a reason?
Well, I mean,
is there a reason you like 2?
What's that?
Is there a reason you like 2 over 1? Because I know you hate 3.
The reason why I love 2 over 1 is because the chain attack system is much better in 2. Because, in 1 you have to have a higher affinity with your party to keep the chain attack going. Well, in 2, it uses an element system instead. And so once you get something called the blade combo, I want to say, once you finish a chain on that, a elemental token will be on an enemy. And the more that's on there, the better. So once you start a chain attack, if you destroy an elemental token, you get to go again. And the power and the attack of your blades, I should say, will go to the next stage. So it could be just the first stage attack, destroy another element token, goes up to the second stage, destroy another, be third, then you'll get to the max stage of attacks. And you can even do, I forget the actual term, it's essentially a limit break, because there will be a bar at the top left, and everyone just unloads their attack. And plus, 2 is also the first game to implement the overkill system, where you get bonus experience for how much more damage you do after the enemy is already dead. And you get even more with boss fights.
Okay.
I will say in terms of chain attacks, 2 is my favorite. 3 isn't bad, but my main issue is that it's just that it's too random in 3 for my liking. But we'll cross that road when we get there. Although I think we're going to start with Xenoblade 2 whenever we actually do more JRPGs on here. And obviously 1, that's the lowest for me. And before people ask, the reason why I hate Xenoblade 3 is because its story fucking sucks. And I am not a particular fan of the combat. Especially with this one gigantic change that they made to it that I fucking hate. And that is, only healers can revive down party members. Yeah, you hear me right.
I'm just in disgust right now about hearing that.
Dude, it fucking sucked. Like, you can swap swap to any different character at any point in time. Which, okay, fine. But if all your healers are down, that's pretty much a dead game right there. Pretty
much.
And I understand like why that is, because unlike 1, 2, and X, the chain attack, even though X doesn't have a chain attack, isn't the same. Like the chain attack meter in and 3 is just a circle. Because, you know, you got the 3 different segments at the top left. But you use one segment to revive a party member. That's not how it works in 3, because when a healer goes to revive a party member, you have to hold A for a couple of seconds to bring them back. It just sucks. Like, I was able to get through it. I beat the game, but I'm just not looking forward to A, making my own video on it, and B,
an actual playthrough.
Getting for here, especially the fucking DLC. Because, you know, normally, like, if you hit a roadblock with a boss or something, you know, you want to level up a bit, you know, so you can tackle the boss again. In the DLC, you fight Shulk and Rex. I'm not going to explain why. It's heavy spoiler, since you have to since you should beat the main game before jumping into the DLC, because, you know, obviously, because it will give you spoilers. But it's only it's a 2v2. And I don't think the characters you control forward are that compatible to actually fight Shulk and Rex. And before you ask, no, Pyra and Mithra aren't there.
You have to say that is a pretty good top 5 right there of games.
And before you give yours, defeat the Piters, because the Piters will scare off the Punies. So defeat all of them first, and then go back for any Punies who fell to the bottom level. But I know you're about to give yours, and I know Nier is going to be on the top.
Yeah, like I said, Nier Automata Replicant, I think is number 1. I feel like I'm not gonna go into depth with this. Most of you will be hearing mostly all of why I enjoy the game so much on our Let's Play channel on this Let's Play of Nier. So we're not gonna go into.
I was about to say we're already on it.
Yeah, but at number 2, I honestly had to give it to Persona 3. As much as I like Persona 4, the more I go back to Persona 3, I've been enjoying it more and more every time, even with reload being a thing. But I just think Persona 3 just has a great story. If I'm playing original Persona 3, I kind of do like playing with the mods. I don't have a problem with the tactic system. I just hate when your party member does something the complete opposite you want them to do.
Yeah, I mean, I said in my review, I have a plan, but I can't execute that plan with the party members doing whatever the fuck they want.
I mean, the social links aren't bad. I mean, half of the social links are good, and some of them are just... they need more work. I mean, especially for a game that did... for the first game to give us social links in the series. Number 3. I have to give it to Sonic Adventure. It's
a great choice.
Because if we're playing Sonic Adventure, I'm most likely playing the Dreamcast version. I don't have a problem with the GameCube version. I just hate how they change out the models and the color textures and everything of everything from the game. Because when I look at Sonic and everyone else, they look like clay models and stuff like that. It just doesn't look that good, in my opinion. But I mean, some people might like the DX port, and the only thing, of course, the DX port gives us that gave it that the original did was if you collect every emblem, you can get Metal Sonic as a playable skin. But I'm not really gonna tend to get all the emblems in that game anymore.
Ooh,
especially with the
I shudder at the thought.
Especially with the Chow Garden. The Chow Garden is probably the one that's gonna take the longest.
Yeah, but I mean, I know for a fact there's ways to cheese all that shit.
Pretty much. Number 4. I mean, I have to put a visual novel in here. It is the Clannad visual novel. Well, Persona was my first kind of exposure to the visual novel stylish game with RPG elements. Even though the fact that literally all you do is point and click, it's just the dialogue that you got from the anime, and of course there being multiple routes in the game compared because the anime only does one route, and that's with the main route being out of Nagisa's route, because, well, that's the one they're just going to focus on, because, I mean, they have done a couple other routes as, OVAs, special episodes like that, but it was just one-off episodes, and that was about it. Well, also the fact that Clannad is, of course, one of my favorite animes of all time. It's probably one of the few animes, I think, that has a perfect ending to a series. At least because, well, I haven't watched the remake of Canon yet. I watched Air and its movie. I think the movie's a little bit better compared to the anime version. Well, it's just more the ending for it than anything else. And honestly, I know this game's still fairly new. My number 5 it has to be Metaphor Refantasio. There was never a game I was never hyped for, and it was this game. Honestly, I think Atlas was they're cooking when it comes to the art style, the soundtrack, and everything. For this one, the fact they're combining both elements of Persona and SMT into a game, it seemed like a fun choice, and they somehow did it.
I still need to fucking play it, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna crack down or not and buy a PS5, especially since I prefer physical copies. But I mean, it doesn't seem like it's going to get DLC. Which, if that's the case,
as of right now, there has not been anything for DLC for it.
Then I can just fucking import a copy of the PS4 version.
I know, if you bought the collector's edition, you got costumes from Persona and some of SMT, but that's really about it, and that's the way you can get the costumes at the moment. Mainly, I mean, I do want to get a special edition at some point, just for collection purposes, because, like I said, the game is fantastic, and it's one of the few games I'm hyped for games when they get announced, but this one I was the most hyped for. I mean, even though we had Persona 3 Reload coming, I was the year prior, but when Metaphor was finally getting this release out, I had to pre-order a copy, or at least get my hand on a copy by the time day 1 hit, and I almost didn't get a copy.
Well, I mean, sucks to be you. But hey, we got some new shoes that I'll explain further in the next episode, so yeah, we'll see you guys then.
So dance, while I put you in